Before systems had names, before peace was a profession, people came together to do this work. The Institute isn't starting something new. We're continuing what's always been true. That change begins with us, together. So what is the Institute? And why does it matter who's part of it?
Well, the idea of the Institute was to create a space where the community partners, the community representatives, the people who have the real lived world problems are able to connect with the researchers and then bring in the students from the multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary perspective and create those learning spaces.
This Peacebuilding is something that's all of our responsibility. It's a transdisciplinary position. So I have a degree in education. I'm an associate professor in the School of Education, and I have this appointment that's also in the School of Nursing. And so it's a nod to this is work that happens across the campus.
At the heart of the Institute's mission is peace building. But what does that actually mean in our lives and our communities?
I grew up in a context where I would experience violence all the way around, like in the news, in my own neighborhood, even in my village, because Colombia is a country that has been affected by armed conflict for many decades.
So if I'm peaceful, then I can focus on sustaining something, right? I ain't gotta be on edge, be in the survivor mode.
I think about how people solve problems, and peace isn't necessarily the opposite of war or the fighting. The peace is the ability to work together and be satisfied with what the result is.
All of our educators have a role. Community members have a role. Business leaders have a role. Not every role is for everyone, but we all have a role to play when it comes down to keeping peace within ourselves, for our families, as well as our community.
If you're working with us, you're probably going to go to meetings where we're collaborating with other organizations, right?
This isn't just theory. It's learning that lives outside the classroom, side by side with community.
Mostly these are graduate students from disciplines across campus, public health, social work, education, nursing, urban studies, letters and sciences, and they are learning practical peace building skills.
And they're supporting us, but at some point, inevitably, it switches over to where they are truly contributing. We're always it's a give and take, supporting each other.
Real change requires real tools. Skills that help shape how we listen, how we lead, and how we show up for each other.
Let me start with what I think is the core. And one of that is intellectual humility. One of the real problems that we have worldly is that we think we know more than we know.
You're not going to get it, and you're not going to make good decisions, and you're not going to make good policies, and you're not going to be a good leader. So that is the key thing. Navigating the humanness in others while navigating our own humanness is going to be where it all comes from.
Change doesn't come from one direction. It's co-created with trust, creativity, and the people closest to the work.
There are skills around communication, there's skills around writing, there's skills around looking at data and how you talk to people.
People end up surviving and not thriving. So for me, tools, we look at, for example, the Google Maps. That was one of the things that I really loved there. Just being able to zoom in and zoom out and look at the systems and look at the interconnected pieces and see how every little thing is interconnected.
So, what's your role in all of this? What becomes possible when we build peace together?
So systems thinking and things like systems mapping are ways of understanding very complex problems in a somewhat ordered but helpful way. And complexity says you always got to know these things are never straight line. They will not work out as they may have worked previously.
Be confident in yourself, give yourself grace, but also when dealing with individuals or walking to this space, build the ability to take yourself out of it and be a human.
We are like a neutral party that can go to the community, through the organizations, and help them connect.
Even in my community, we walk past each other all the time, right? But we don't actually interact with each other. We don't engage in these types of conversations of system change.
Success is when you could leave and the change is still happening. And that for me is like the most rewarding thing.
The Institute for Systems Change and Peacebuilding isn't just a program within the university. It's a way of being, a way of thinking, and a way of engaging with one another. It invites us to learn, act, and build in partnership with the systems around us and one another. Because systems don't transform on their own, people do. And this is where transformation begins.